Hi Aries, welcome to your August 2022 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Wow, you got that, intense middle card, and you have these great cards that flank it. Interesting. Okay. Well, the first thing that came to my mind is what goes around comes around. That's the Wheel of Fortune, but also the Judgment card can be that as well in its own way. Cause and effect, baby. So the heart of the matter is the Five of Swords. This can be a card of an empty victory. Sometimes sometimes Aries people tend to be a little bit overly ambitious. I'm not saying all Aries, but some. And you may get what you want, be careful what you wish for, because you might get it, but it might come at a price. You might have been a little bit too aggressive, and then you start to think about it and say, did I really deserve this? Or this can be a situation where you're doing well and other people are not happy about it. I think that might even be more of the possibility, because in the past position we have the Wheel of Fortune, and this is a card of like now being aligned to positive things in your life. You may have had multiple things occur for you. It's interesting. This card is connected to Jupiter, and Jupiter's in Aries. There you go. And actually at the end of July, the same day of the new moon in Leo, is, because it hasn't happened yet as I record this, it's Jupiter retrograding. So it's going to go back into Pisces, but not quite yet. Not in August, I don't think. I think it's going to take longer than that, but I don't have my ephemeris in front of me. So the point is that you may feel like things have been aligned, but for some reason other people aren't that happy about it. And that's always weird, isn't it? When some of the people that are supposed to be your biggest cheerleaders seem like kind of bummed that you're having all this good fortune. That it can be very educational, or it can really illustrate certain things going on in your life that happens. You might be like, wow, now I'm really seeing who my real friends are. The higher message is the Nine of Cups. This reiterates this is Jupiter in Pisces. It's funny because that's what you're going to go back into. So you may have more opportunities that you missed the first time around come back during the retrograde. But really, as a spiritual message, watch out for the tendency to gloat or to be in your face about your things that are going well, because you may feel like the sense of hurt that someone or some people that are close to you did not seem to be. They might have even been treacherous or sabotaging. If you have caught people maybe talking bad about you and saying, oh, he or she is so full of themselves just because they got that raise or they got that promotion, they think that they're hot shit. They think they're all that, you know what I mean? That kind of thing people do when they are when somebody else's success makes them feel bad about themselves. You don't have to roll in the mud with other people. You can stay on high ground. And definitely be happy and grateful for the blessings that are coming your way, but don't take it to the extreme where you're kind of, on social media, kind of availing your gloating or something like that. Be very low-key and humble about it, because that'll just increase the enemies, the backbiters, because that's when the demons really come out in people, when they see other people people's happiness or their success. Well, crosses use the three of Pentacles. Oh, so maybe sometimes I do think of the Five of Swords as co-workers. So this kind of reiterates that. Maybe these people are not your not necessarily your loved ones, but it could be like your co-workers. So maybe they're the treacherous ones. So you have to realize that, and that could be a fly in the ointment where you get the promotion, but then all the people hate your guts because they're jealous, envious. So, I mean, this may be bad of me or bad advice, but I really don't believe that it's wise to trust people at work, because there's so much of that primal. I mean, just when I haven't worked around people for quite a while, for years, but I just remember very vividly how people would get into this primitive state where they were trying to, it's kind of like a self-protection, and everyone else could basically go to hell as long as they got theirs. And you know, it's not up to me to decide whether somebody is really a good person, but they just have this fear about not having a job or something like that, and that I really should trust them after all. I'm not going to necessarily do that because I would rather be smart about it, not be, believing that it's a good idea to socialize with people from the workplace, because then, that it's actually better to compartmentalize your life in that way, where it's not kind of this murky area between friendship and being a co-worker. Because that's how I see the Five of Swords, that you might be dealing with a lot of treachery, a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and you are oblivious to it to some degree. Aries people, it's not that Aries is just this perfect sign, but Aries people tend to be very positive, and they're very upfront. So the Five of Swords is pretty sketchy, and you might not operate that way, so you wouldn't necessarily know that other people are capable of it. Also, if you have noticed changes in your spouse and they seem to be acting in a sketchy manner, they may be threatened by your success. What's coming in is the Four of Wands, and the focal point becomes your marriage or your home life, whether it's happy or not. Sometimes this can also be buying a new home, something along those lines, and maybe that is a change in your marital status. That's always a possibility, because you know that it's not good. If the Five of Swords represents that, you're like, I have to make a change. I can't be with somebody who can't be happy for me and my successes, who looks at that as some kind of indictment against themselves. The outcome is a Judgment card, and this is the card of reaping what you have sown. This is connected to Pluto, so this is a card of rebirth. And for some Aries people, this has been a long time coming. Maybe the Five of Swords is the best thing that ever happened to you, because you realize that you need supportive people in your life, and you may have found out unexpectedly that the very people that you thought would be in your corner were your enemies, your frenemies. And it also speaks to judgment. It also speaks to cause and effect. So lying down with dogs and getting fleas, just that's how it works out. And so if you don't want any fleas, don't lie down with dogs. But those two cards, the Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Cups, are the things to focus on. And also the Four of Wands. This is very upbeat energy. But again, you might just be dealing with people who don't have your best interests at heart. And that's just, the way life works sometimes. And it's good to know who your enemies are, what you're dealing with. Okay, that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.